CBS Sports Radio 1450 The Hall, Average Joe Show 2.0, KB. Now, I've kicked Tony and Buster out of the studio because occasionally, you guys know how I am, a college basketball nerd, and when I get to junk out and hang out with a guy I remember watching when I was in my dorm room at Syracuse, I got one of those guys right now. His name is Anthony Blakes. He goes now by the moniker Buckets.
Yes.
Because of the work he does in the game of basketball, Anthony Buckets Blakes is a member of the world-famous and Hall of Fame Harlem Globetrotters, who will be back in Springfield February 18th and 19th. That's next Wednesday and Thursday at the Mass Mutual Center. You can pick up all sorts of tickets by going to the Mass Mutual Center box office or by going to the Mass Mutual Center website. But Anthony Buckets Blakes, welcome to the Average Joe Show, my friend. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The Average Joe Show. Thanks for having me. Pleasure to meet you as well.
It's so funny when, you and I were just talking off the air a little bit. We're the same vintage, so we're talking about guys who you played with, I watched on TV, I went to school with. Let's talk a little bit about your basketball journey for a moment, because so much of what the Globetrotters do, and you guys will be here performing next week, it's three-pronged, right? I mean, it's competition. You're a basketball player first.
For sure.
You still want to win.
Definitely.
Go hard.
Yes.
Right?
Or go home.
Or go home.
Literally.
Exactly. Yeah, actually go home. It's a show because it's a family event.
Yep.
But it's also humanitarian, right? You guys are out doing philanthropy. You're out doing service when you go into the community. Can you talk to me about your career as a Globetrotter and the way that those three things work together?
Well, it's pretty awesome when you have an opportunity to not only play the game that you love, that you've pretty much been playing your whole life, and also, you still keep that competitive edge. But as you mentioned, we also get a chance to entertain as well and make people laugh and smile during the game. But also, once the game is over and off the court, you get a chance to get involved in a lot of community outreach. We definitely have a philanthropic aspect to the Harlem Globetrotters. I love the fact that I could give back at the same time I'm working, as opposed to having a job and then I wait till I get off my job and then go volunteer.
That's the truth.
Now we've partnered with so many cool organizations. World Vision is one of them. And I had a chance to go to Honduras and see what World Vision brings to the table, not only being partners with us, but what they actually do is they set up ADPs, which is Area Development Programs, and they stay for 15 years. They teach people how to have self-sustaining communities around the world who are poverty-stricken.
Sure.
Fresh water. I've seen a 35,000-gallon water tank being built in a small place in the mountains in Honduras.
Remarkable.
Exactly. Also, they're teaching agriculture, how to farm. So they're getting all that what we call organic food, which shouldn't even be called organic. It should just be food.
Exactly.
What we're supposed to be eating. And they're teaching them how to grow their own food. They're helping them to have enough surplus with goats and cattle to have enough surplus milk and yogurt to sell at the market, so they can have extra money for medicine and things of that nature. So to be a part of an organization like that is awesome. But also we have our anti-bullying program. We have our Cheer for Character program. We have a SPIN program, which stands for Some Playtime is Necessary, to encourage kids to stay physically active. And then we have our Smile Patrol, which is one of my favorites. We visit the pediatric department of a lot of hospitals, and I've been to Shriners here before in the past to talk to the kids and try to put a smile on their face, because those kids might not make it to the schools, Boys and Girls Clubs, YMCAs, or even to our games, so we make it a point to go see them.
We're speaking with Anthony Buckets Blakes of the world-famous Harlem Globetrotters, February 18th and 19th, next Wednesday and Thursday at the Mass Mutual Center. Be sure to grab tickets. I'll be bringing my kids and my wife out. It's a team of 4 that I roll with. And, but it's funny because you mentioned 75 countries you've been to through the Harlem Globetrotters. You're a West Coast guy or a Valley of the Sun guy, Phoenix guy. Talk to me about what it's like, the cultural experience. You talk about Honduras and the mountains and watching the cultures there. What are some of the cultures that sort of feel most like home? When obviously Europe's got to be one of them. You've traveled playing basketball. Are there any surprising cultures where you get there and you're like, I think I could stay in Abu Dhabi? Where is the place?
That's funny you said Abu Dhabi, because we played in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. We sold out, I think, 4 games at the Dubai Tennis Stadium.
Get out of here.
And I didn't think that we would sell out of 4 games at the Dubai Tennis Stadium, because it's Dubai and you don't think basketball, right? Well, the Globetrotters have tapped that market a couple of times. I think when I went there, we hadn't been there for over 20 years. And then I guess they were so eager for us to come back that we sold out. And then we went to Abu Dhabi and sold out as well. And that is one of those places. It is a desert. I am from Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm like, yeah, I can vacation here, So it's pretty cool. Then you get down to South America, and, we have a huge Mexican culture in Arizona, Hispanic, Latin culture, whatever you want to call it. So when you get down to Central and South America, the food is almost the same, so you can kind of relate.
Yeah, it feels like home a bit.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So, but being in 75 countries, I'm on my 3rd passport.
It's awesome.
So I'm getting a chance to see the world. Everywhere we go, we're the home team, which is pretty cool. No matter how well the team is doing. We were just up in Toronto, and the Raptors are doing well in the East and the NBA, but Globetrotters show up, and it's like the Raptors go out the window for a hot second because everybody's just, happy to see the Globetrotters, and I think that's pretty awesome.
Now, you played in the developmental league for a spot as well, and having had a team here in Springfield for 5 years, the Springfield Armored, they just left for, Michigander pastures a few years ago. We see the development of players, and we sort of fell for players. Personalities.